Sudan has been taken by dark forces. Since the news programs will not share the truth, it is up to people like us with a voice, no matter what our channel is for, to speak up for humanity. I am a sex priestess, and I am a psychedelic witch. And this channel is mainly created for sex magic and awakening humanity by returning to sacredness of the sexual union and the way we live our life. But since October 7, 2023, we have no choice but to speak up. I cannot go on knowing what's happening and to be silent and keep making sex magic videos. I have a voice, I have fire in me, and I have courage, and I will use it. I have made many videos since October 7 explaining about the dark forces and exactly what happened on the land of Israel. And most of these videos, not all of them, but most of them have been taken down by YouTube. But I will keep speaking and I will keep using my voice because truth is the only weapon we have against this absolute shadow. So I have promised to be the voice of all my sisters. Not only those that I know, not only Jews or Israelis, but all women and children. And I have vowed to be a servant of truth when I vowed to be a servant of the mother. And this is why now I will speak of Sudan and the demonic forces that have taken over it. Now this next part that I'm going to read, I have translated from a different YouTube channel, and I will post this channel below, although it's all in Hebrew. If you happen to hear about Sudan and didn't quite understand what's going on, here is the explanation. And why am I doing this? Because even this disaster is being used by pro-Palestinians to create symmetry, so-called, with what happened in Israel. So let's talk facts. As for the atrocities, the internet is full of them. It looks like October 7 on steroids. What's really happening right now in Sudan and why it should matter to us. Let's talk about it. The image that we see here is one of the least disturbing compared to the reality hundreds of thousands of civilians in Darfur, just as in one place in Sudan. A war officially defined as genocide is happening in real time, a real genocide, not like the fake genocide that we have heard about for the last 2 years that happened in Gaza. This is a real genocide with almost no international attention. A few military details before we continue. So in April 2023, a power struggle broke out between the Sudanese army, the SAF, and the RSF militias, formerly known as the Janjaweed, who also operated in Darfur during previous waves of violence. The RSF managed to capture Khartoum and moved their main base of control to the territories that they hold in the west. The army, which lost control of the capital, established itself in the coastal city of Port Sudan, which has since become the de facto capital and a central hub for humanitarian aid. And here's the part most don't know, because really it's all connected. So we really have to take a few steps back and see what is happening in the bigger picture. And you know, like I talked before, eventually it's all going to lead us to the Muslim Brotherhood. And then another level up there, it's all going to lead us to demonic forces. So in recent years, Sudan has been moving closer towards Israel and the West. It was part of the Abraham Accords committed to normalizing relations with Israel and sought removal from the list of state sponsors of terrorism. It expected American, European, and Israeli support and hoped to establish a new civilian leadership. But when the county began to sink into internal war, it was abandoned. The world moved on to other conflict. The resulting vacuum turned Sudan into a battlefield for regional powers. What's happening now isn't a local conflict, but a struggle for control over the backyard, so to speak, of the Middle East. Now, the Turkey-Qatar camp, the Turkey/Qatar camp, we all know about Qatar, supports the Sudanese army, of course, while the UAE, Egypt camp, supports the RSF militias. Each side's territorial gains expand the influence of whoever arms and funds them, right? So behind all this lies the strategic importance of the Red Sea, a major global trade route, and of Sudan's gold mines and critical natural resources. The battle is not just over the borders of an African nation, but over who holds the keys to the maritime route that reaches the very gates of Israel. And when Sudan's transitional government didn't receive the backing it hoped for from the West, Iran stepped in with offers of military assistance. In the current situation, there's a real concern that Sudan could eventually become a forward base for pro-Iranian forces of the shores of the Red Sea, which will be horrible. Meanwhile, the war on the ground is deepening, and whoever suffers the most are the people there, especially the children and the women. So El Fasher, the last major city in Darfur still held by the army, is under severe threat. The civilian population is paying the heaviest price: murder, starvation, mass displacement, rape, and the global destruction of urban areas. Now, according to estimates, over 10 million people have been displaced from their homes. UN estimates at least 150,000 killed. About 800,000 civilians in El Fasher are under threat of massacre. Thousands of reported cases of rape and sexual torture. That is, of course, the first thing that always happens in a situation like that is rape. Is first of all, they're going to use the women and the children. Over 25 million people depend on food aid. More than 4 million children are at risk of extreme hunger. And this is a story that we cannot ignore, not only for moral reasons, because a genocide is unfolding before all of our eyes, but also for strategic ones. A country Israel once hoped to have as an ally could indirectly become a threat to our southern border and the Red Sea. And I'm telling you, if Israel falls, the entire world falls. Israel literally is connected to the entire world, physically and also spiritually. People have to get that. That is why all these lies have been billions of dollars have gone to paid for the so-called Palestinian propaganda since October 7. And so many people have been paid to feed this beast of lies and create more anti-Semitism in the world and really activate the disease of anti-Semitism in people's psyche and subconscious. This is madness, what's going on. Now, Sudan reminds us how crucial it is not just to neglect early alliances, and how Africa is really not far away from Israel, you know? And what's happening there today could determine what happens around the entire world tomorrow. Now, this story, once again, it illustrates one terrible truth. First of all, the world leaders are evil and corrupt and engaged in endless game of power and money. Ordinary people don't truly matter to them. They're not a part of the game and are simply condemned to pay the price with their bodies and their souls. That's how it is in Sudan right now. And that's how it is everywhere else. Our leaders absolutely serve demonic forces. I've said this for years and I will keep saying this forever, because the ways that they use humanity is demonic. The methods, the lies, the rapes, the torture, the slave trade, the organ harvesting, and child trafficking, that is also a part of all this chaos, are methods that the lowest entities in existence seek to feed on. We must wake up. Now, this is the reason that I'm doing this, guys. If we don't absolutely understand what magic is and how it works, if we don't understand how the transfers of energy work, how demonic forces work, we will never be able to defeat them and liberate ourselves. We will never be able to learn, because this entire world and existence and universe is magic. Everything works on magic. We ourselves are magic. And we are practicing magic every single day without knowing it. The dark forces wanted us to forget what magic is and the true power of it, so that they can take over us, so that they can control us. And we must wake up. Now, we will not be able to distinguish between not just what magic is and what isn't, but we are also not going to be able to distinguish between lies and truth if we don't understand this. And this will keep us slaves forever. So thank you for listening. Please, let's make some magic for the people in Sudan and in Nigeria and in Yemen and in Iran, where I really am praying for the Iranian regime to fall, and the regime in all the dark forces regimes to really fall, and for us to really start living in the full potential that we are as humanity, because we are light. We have just forgotten that, my dears.